Right guys, today another Battlefield 4 review. This time we're doing the SG553 carbine. The real steel rifle is produced by a company called Sig Sauer in, I believe, Switzerland. It chambers the 5.56 NATO. It's actually a variant on the SG550, and even then it's a variant on that, which is the SG552. It was released in 2009. It had a much greater reliability because of the integral piston and recoil spring. It's done this to prevent the rifle from jamming as much, because the SG552 was plagued by jamming, as it was pretty much a rushed rifle to deal with the new weapons that were required for the Afghan war. But anyway, or the war on terror, whatever you want to call it. The new rifle, the 553, also came with the option for the installation of Picatinny rails, which are what you use in Battlefield to mount your sight optics and all other types of special things that obviously make the rifle more tactical. But anyway, on to the Battlefield 4 stats. It's got 830 rounds per minute, so yes, this is the fastest rate of fire gun I've actually reviewed so far. It makes it very, very good for CQC. You can drop people like it's nothing. It literally takes no effort. Over at the 30 round magazine, as you're about to see here, it runs out very, very quickly, making that's probably one of its biggest downsides. But the reloads aren't too bad. You get 2.15 seconds short, but I hardly ever reached that unless I took down one person, then immediately reloaded. Whereas if I was coming up against 2 or 3 guys, I'd always run out of ammo. But the long reload isn't too bad. It's 2.65 seconds, which isn't an eternity. It's only 0.5 of the second longer, which it can mean the difference between life or death in CQC, but I didn't really ever find myself coming into situations where I was gonna die if I went into the long reload, because it is literally just the time it takes for him to slap the bolt release, and that's it. Damage model's pretty standard for the carbines. It's 25 damage out to 8 meters, dropping off to 15.4 at 50 meters, which, you know, is a 4-shot kill in close quarters, and then a 5-6 shot kill in long range, which isn't too bad, because when you're shooting at people outside of 50 meters on this gun, due to the side-to-side recoil of 0.3 left and 0.5 right, you can't hit a fucking barn door. It bounces all over the shop, so you have to tap fire this thing. Distances past 50 meters, I would recommend going for those engagements. I'd recommend just closing the gap on it, because you're not going to be able to hit them too greatly. You're just going to be tickling them. The 0.3 vertical recoil is quite low, making the weapon very controllable in terms of its vertical recoil. However, the first shot multiplier 2 times makes it a bit harder to hit those longer range targets, because the first shot bounces up and then you can keep the control. So if you're good at managing that first shot bounce, then you've got no problems with this gun. But I tend to stick to the close to medium range, because due to the high rate of fire, you're doing a lot of damage per second, and therefore in the close quarter scenarios you can actually outrun or outperform an AEK or the SR2, which I found are just the powerhouse weapons on this game. That, along with the AWS, which I absolutely hate. Recommended attachments for this gun, I recommend using, well, as I'm using any 1-time sight with a 2x magnifier, just purely because that allows you to hit close and medium range targets, and if you need to, you can flip up the magnifier to go for those long range shots. I like to stick away from laser sights because I don't quite like being pointed out on the map, and there's the mastery. But anyway, I also like to stick with a suppressor, because every time you're getting into these close quarters environments, you're going to want to stay off the minimap, and just so that when you're up close you can just let the 830 rounds take over. I use a stubby and potato grip to minimise the recoil on the rifle, just on automatic fire, so you can keep it under control at medium range. And here's the Mastery dog tag in my collection, coming up right now. Here we go, there it is. It's quite nice. It's starting to flesh out a little bit now, my Masteries. But anyway guys, until next time, I hope you enjoyed the video, and peace out.